Hello and welcome to Here to Serve. I'm one of the volunteers, and today we're going to talk about the outreach, Peanut Butter and Jesus. We're going to talk about the process, what we do, and why we do it. So let's get started. Welcome back. Before we get started, we should probably identify who we are and what we do. Here to Serve is a volunteer-based, nonprofit 501c3 organization that promotes Christ-centered outreach through multiple programs. Here to Serve's mission is to reach individuals where they are and to leave them in a way that they will not be the same as they were. We believe in feeding until one is full, teaching until one is skilled, informing until one is empowered, encouraging until one is confident, and inspiring until all serve. Simply put, Here to Serve feels a calling to feed the hungry, spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, and promote outreach to make it easier for churches and organizations to reach their communities. Today, we are going to focus on the Peanut Butter and Jesus Outreach Program. Peanut Butter and Jesus originally started in Tifton, Georgia in September of 2017 as an outreach to their community, and they started by handing out 140 lunches. Since then, God has greatly blessed them in this ministry, and they now hand out thousands of lunches every month. On top of that, they have several affiliates all across the nation that also hand out to their communities on a routine basis. Here to Serve is blessed to be one of those affiliates. With Here to Serve, Peanut Butter and Jesus' mission is to feed the hungry and spread the gospel one sandwich at a time. Representing Christ and His love, we feed both body and soul while establishing relationships within our communities. Matthew 25:35 says, "For I was hungered, and you gave me meat. I was thirsty, you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in." All right, with all that being said, let's take a peek at the process. We partner with multiple churches and organizations to distribute free lunches to their communities. We provide the manufacturing of these lunches, which can also include the individual church business card or pamphlet if they choose. We feel that by taking care of the manufacturing, this will allow these churches to focus more on establishing relationships with their communities. They tell us how many lunches to prepare, and we have them ready at the designated pickup time. Simple as that. Many of these churches will also volunteer to help with this manufacturing process. Here to Serve has a core group of lead volunteers that are each capable and responsible for leading a shift from start to finish. These leaders rotate shifts so that we can keep this outreach operational every single Saturday morning. We want the recipient communities to be able to count on Peanut Butter and Jesus every single week. We allocate approximately 1.5 hours to manufacture the lunches each Saturday. With a group of volunteers, we can make hundreds of lunches in that time frame. The leaders will get there early so that they can begin the setup process. This involves mixing the peanut butter and jelly, coordinating containers, bags, snacks, drinks, tracts, and church cards. Okay, so let me talk about each one of those things individually. First off, mixing the peanut butter and jelly. We try to have the first batch ready to go for when the rest of the volunteers arrive. We use a commercial mixer and can mix around 400 sandwiches worth per batch. We do not want to cut any corners during this process. The recipients of these lunches deserve the same quality and quantity that we would want for ourselves. Now let's talk about the coordination. It's very important that we coordinate the correct number of containers and sacks for the churches that we're serving. You see, each church will have a different number of lunches needed. They also have their own customized church card or pamphlet that they may want added to these lunches. To keep this all separated and organized, we will make sure to allocate the correct amount of labeled containers prior to the start of the shift. Each container will hold exactly 10 lunches and will be labeled with the appropriate organization. Using these containers makes it easy to count, stack, and transport. Now let's talk about sorting the products. It's very important that we have the correct amount of snacks, drinks, tracts, and church cards for a particular shift. We have a storeroom where all the supplies are kept. Each week, we will pull the correct number of supplies for that day's production cycle. This includes the peanut butter, the jelly, 2 snacks, that's often a sweet snack and a savory snack, the drinks, labeled sacks, containers. Now, the bread is actually purchased weekly so that it's always fresh. Now, I don't want to overlook that this process for us also involves transforming a working office space into a manufacturing facility for sack lunches. So we dedicate 3 main spaces each week for this outreach: the kitchen, the bag room, and the storeroom. The kitchen is where all of the peanut butter and jelly is mixed. It's also where all the sandwiches are made and then put into plastic bags. The bag room is where all of the containers are laid out and where each lunch sack is built and double-checked. Now, each lunch contains a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, a drink, 2 snacks, a Christian tract, a church business card or pamphlet, and love. The storeroom is where all of the inventory and supplies are kept to keep this outreach operational. This is the only room that does not have to be transformed each Saturday morning. All inventory is managed and rotated with expiration dates in mind. At the designated time, the volunteers show up ready to work. At this point, we will divide the volunteers into 2 groups. Some will go to the kitchen and some will go to the bag room. Oftentimes, we have repeat volunteers and everyone is already accustomed to the process. Let me just say that this is not a boring process. This is normally a time of fellowship and laughing and is very enjoyable for all. We have a volunteer sign up on our website for anyone that is interested in helping. I will put a link to that in the description of this video. Not only do we welcome new volunteers, but we also welcome volunteers of all ages. Oh yes, we love it when kids come to help. It blesses our hearts when we see young children putting their heart into this ministry and working for God. When we have new volunteers, we will gather everyone up and have a volunteer meeting, or you could call it an introduction to this Peanut Butter and Jesus outreach. In this meeting, we will explain who we are, what we do, and how we do it. It is our prayer that we stay in the middle of God's will and His plan for us. I speak for all of the volunteers when I say that we do not want recognition for this work. Anything good that happens from Peanut Butter and Jesus is God's doing. He deserves the honor and the praise. We realize that He has us plant seeds that we may never see turn into trees. And that's okay, because it's not about us, it's about Him, and we give Him all of the glory. The kitchen crew will assemble the sandwiches and bag them individually. The bagged sandwiches will go into a tote for transport to the bag room when full. The kitchen will continue to make sandwiches until we are done with production for that day. At this point, we begin to clean up and transform the area back into a kitchen for the office. The bag room crew will make sure that each core item is placed in every bag. Additionally, they will make sure that the appropriate church cards go into the appropriate bags. Each paper bag is double-checked for accuracy of all items and then folded to indicate it's complete. Once all of the bags in a tote are folded, the lid is placed on it and it's moved to the appropriate cart for transport downstairs. This is the pickup area for all churches and organizations. When complete, we take advantage of any extra time that we have, and we will begin to prepare for future shifts by applying the Peanut Butter and Jesus labels to the paper bags. During this time, we often offer snacks and drinks to any of our volunteers. Their help is so appreciated. We could not do this without the help of our wonderful volunteers. Once complete, we load up all of the completed totes in their respective vehicles, making sure that each church gets the correct number of lunches. Then the distribution teams head out to bless others with a free lunch and the gospel. Each church and organization that participates in this outreach is responsible for building their own distribution team. We try to keep the cost of these lunches as close as we can to $1 each, but that is very hard to do. Oftentimes we are over that mark. We are currently at a little over $1.35 per bag. Now, if your church or organization is interested in distributing free lunches for your community, we would be happy to partner with you. We recommend a donation of only $1 a bag for any lunches that are ordered. Please call or email us for more information. If you are interested in volunteering, we would welcome you with open arms. When you volunteer, you will also have the opportunity to go afterwards and help distribute with one of our distribution teams if you would like. I can honestly say that this will change a person's perspective. I've said it many times, I'm not sure how anyone can get blessed more than I do by participating in this work. Now, how can you help? There's actually multiple ways that you can help. You can volunteer, and we would love to have your help and are confident that you would enjoy it. There's a link in the description below where you can sign up for a particular shift. You could donate. If you're unable to volunteer but would like to make a tax-deductible donation to this outreach, please click on the donate link in the description below. Your support is much appreciated. Now rest assured, 100% of your donation will make it into the hands of those that we are trying to serve because we have no overhead costs and no payroll whatsoever. And you can spread the word. You could share this video for awareness sake. Now, as I've already mentioned, We are not looking for recognition. We are undeserving of that. God deserves all the glory. The reason to share is because we know that the more people that are aware of this will equate to the more people that are interested in participating at some capacity at least. The more people that participate will yield to more people that can receive one of these lunches and the gospel. We like to look at it as more seeds planted. We want to say thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. We hope that this inspires you to join us or to create an outreach of your own. We have shared our Peanut Butter and Jesus mission with you and have given a summary of the overall process. Just in case you're still wondering why we do what we do, let me leave you with a couple of statistics. So we are based out of Cleveland County, Oklahoma. According to regionalfoodbank.org, in 2020, 33,350 people in our county live with hunger. 10,130 children are food insecure, and 6.6% of seniors live in poverty. That means that more than 1 out of every 10 people in our county are food insecure. And I can tell you this, our teams have approached people of all ages, young and old alike, and have told us that they hadn't had anything to eat and have thanked us for the food, some even breaking down in tears. So let me summarize. According to regionalfoodbank.org, 12% of the residents in our county are living with hunger. According to the Bible, 100% of all of those people need Jesus.
Peanut butter and Jesus. Hello, can we share lunch with you today?